Breaking free from limiting beliefs is the cornerstone of lasting transformation. These inner barriers often hide beneath the surface, quietly dictating how you think, act, and respond to the world. They whisper stories of fear, inadequacy, and doubt, convincing you that safety lies in staying small, in doing less, and in avoiding risk. But the truth is that these beliefs are nothing more than illusions, mental chains that keep you from reaching your true potential. Every dream that feels too far away, every opportunity that seems impossible, is often blocked not by external circumstances, but by the invisible walls you've built within your own mind. The moment you begin to question these boundaries, you take your first step toward freedom. Imagine living your entire life with the belief that you're not smart enough, talented enough, or lucky enough to succeed. That belief would color every decision you make. You'd hold back from taking chances, you'd hesitate to speak up, and you'd settle for less than what you truly deserve. This is what limiting beliefs do. They shrink your vision and dull your spirit. They make you play small in a world that rewards courage and conviction. But when you start challenging those beliefs, when you dare to ask, "What if I'm capable of more?" that's when your life begins to expand. You realize that the mind is not a prison, but a tool, and that you hold the power to shape it. Transformation begins the moment you become aware of your patterns. Once you recognize the stories you've been telling yourself, you can start to rewrite them. This process requires honesty and courage because it forces you to confront the parts of yourself that you've been hiding from. It's easier to blame circumstances, luck, or timing than to admit that your beliefs might be the root of your struggle. But once you accept responsibility for your mindset, you regain control. You understand that life doesn't change by accident. It changes by decision. You must decide that the old narrative no longer serves you and replace it with one that empowers you to take action. No matter how uncomfortable that action may be, breaking free from limiting beliefs is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong commitment. Every new level of growth brings with it new doubts, new fears, and new challenges. But the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is simple. Those who rise choose to confront their beliefs again and again until they no longer hold power over them. They know that discomfort is a sign of expansion and that every step beyond fear leads to strength. The more you step outside the boundaries of your comfort zone, the more you prove to yourself that your old limitations were never real to begin with. Freedom is not found in the absence of obstacles, but in the courage to face them with faith and persistence. When you dismantle the mental walls that have confined you, you open the door to a life that feels vibrant, meaningful, and unstoppable. The moment you realize that you are not your thoughts but the thinker behind them, you awaken to your true potential. From that place of awareness, every dream becomes attainable, every goal becomes possible, and every setback becomes a stepping stone toward your highest purpose. That is the essence of breaking free, choosing belief over doubt, action over fear, and growth over limitation. Real growth begins when you confront the voices that say you can't. Those inner voices are not reflections of truth, but echoes of past experiences, fears and limitations that you've unknowingly accepted as reality. They come from moments in your life when you felt rejected, unworthy, or powerless. And over time, those moments solidified into beliefs that now shape the way you see yourself and the world around you. When you hear the whisper of doubt telling you that success is for others but not for you, it is not your soul speaking. It's your past trying to protect you from future pain. Yet protection built from fear will never create fulfillment. True growth begins when you challenge these voices and realize that they no longer serve who you are becoming. Every person carries within them a mental dialogue that either limits or liberates their potential. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck lies in how they interpret that dialogue. Some let the inner critic dictate their choices, keeping them trapped in hesitation and self-sabotage. Others learn to observe that voice, question it, and replace it with empowering beliefs that fuel confidence and determination. The moment you choose to rewrite your internal story, everything changes. You begin to replace "I can't" with "I will find a way" and "I'm not enough" with "I am growing every day." This simple shift in language carries immense power. It transforms fear into focus and doubt into drive. When you start to believe that life is happening for you and not to you, your entire perception transforms. Instead of viewing challenges as punishments or signs of failure, you start to see them as opportunities for growth. Every setback becomes a teacher, every difficulty a doorway to strength. You begin to recognize that adversity is not your enemy, but your greatest ally. It's through struggle that you build resilience, through mistakes that you learn wisdom, and through pain that you discover your power. The strongest minds are not those that avoid discomfort, but those that embrace it, knowing that beyond the fear lies freedom. To cultivate such a mindset requires awareness, consistency, and self-compassion. You cannot silence the voice of doubt by force. You must outgrow it through understanding. When fear arises, instead of resisting it, observe it. Ask yourself, is this voice helping me move forward, or is it holding me back? Each time you choose to act in spite of fear, you rewire your mind toward courage. You begin to build new neural pathways that favor progress over paralysis, and soon, confidence becomes your natural state. Growth, then, is no longer an uphill battle, but a daily practice of alignment between your beliefs, emotions, and actions. As you continue to evolve, those old limiting voices grow quieter. They lose their grip because you've proven them wrong through action. You begin to live from a place of strength rather than scarcity, faith rather than fear. Life stops feeling like something that's happening outside of your control and becomes something you consciously shape. That's the real power of confronting your inner voice. It awakens your potential, transforms your reality, and allows you to become the person you were always meant to be. Success is never a matter of luck. It is the reflection of a person's mindset and the depth of their inner belief. Every extraordinary achievement begins not with resources, connections, or perfect timing, but with a decision. A decision to think differently, to act courageously, and to persist when others would quit. The people who rise above mediocrity are not necessarily the most talented or the most intelligent. They are the ones who master their inner world. They learn to control their emotions, direct their focus, and channel their energy toward meaningful goals. They understand that success is created from the inside out, and that mindset is the foundation upon which every dream is built. When you study the lives of those who have achieved greatness, one truth stands out. They refuse to be victims of circumstance. They don't allow fear, doubt, or external opinions to dictate their destiny. Instead, they develop a mental resilience that enables them to stand tall in the face of adversity. They don't crumble when life becomes difficult. They adapt, learn, and grow stronger. This inner strength is not something that happens by chance. It's cultivated through discipline, consistency, and a deep understanding that progress requires discomfort. They recognize that challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones, and they use them to rise higher than ever before. The key to mastering your mindset lies in focus. Whatever you focus on consistently shapes your reality. If you focus on fear, you will find reasons to be afraid. If you focus on opportunity, you will see possibilities everywhere. Most people let their minds dwell on what's missing, what's wrong, or what could go wrong. But those who succeed have trained their minds to focus on what's right, what's working, and what they can improve. They've learned that success is not about avoiding problems, but about directing their attention toward solutions. This focus gives them clarity and power, even in chaos. The ability to stay centered amid uncertainty is what separates those who merely wish from those who achieve. Another defining trait of a successful mindset is emotional mastery. Life will always present moments of doubt, frustration, and pain, but your reaction to those moments determines your destiny. The ability to remain calm, to respond instead of react, and to keep your emotions aligned with your purpose is what keeps you on track. When you allow negativity or fear to control your emotions, your actions become scattered and your confidence fades. But when you learn to regulate your emotions, to choose empowerment over discouragement, your energy becomes unstoppable. This emotional intelligence is the secret weapon of every high achiever. It allows them to stay focused, make wise decisions, and move forward even when the path isn't clear. Ultimately, success is about training your mind to see what others overlook. It's about replacing excuses with effort, fear with faith, and hesitation with action. Those who achieve greatness do so because they believe they can, even before the results appear. They don't wait for proof, they create it through persistence. Your mindset is your greatest asset, and when it's aligned with belief, discipline, and vision, success stops being an accident and becomes inevitable. The journey of breaking free from limiting beliefs and achieving real transformation requires more than just desire. It demands consistent effort, deep awareness, and unwavering commitment. Growth is not something that happens by chance. It is a deliberate process that begins when you choose to confront your fears and move beyond the comfort of what is familiar. It's easy to dream of change, but it takes courage to embody it. Many people talk about wanting a better life, more success, or greater happiness, but few are willing to do the inner work required to make it happen. Real transformation is not about instant results. It's about small, intentional actions taken daily that slowly but surely reshape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. Change begins with awareness. You must first recognize the thoughts and behaviors that have kept you stuck. It takes honesty to look at your own patterns and admit that some of them no longer serve you. The moment you become aware of these self-defeating patterns, you gain the power to change them. Awareness turns into clarity, and clarity gives birth to new choices. Each decision you make in alignment with your higher vision becomes a powerful step forward. Every time you choose faith over fear, action over hesitation, and purpose over procrastination, you build momentum. And once momentum begins, transformation becomes unstoppable. But consistency is the real key to growth. It's not enough to take action once or twice when motivation is high. You must continue even when enthusiasm fades. Success belongs to those who stay committed long after the initial excitement wears off. The process will test you. It will challenge your patience, your confidence, and your endurance. There will be moments when progress feels invisible, when results don't come as quickly as you hoped. Those moments are the true tests of character. They reveal whether your commitment is stronger than your comfort. The people who keep going despite the obstacles are the ones who eventually break through, because persistence turns resistance into mastery. Every small decision you make from a place of confidence and clarity compounds over time. The results may not be visible immediately, but they are growing beneath the surface, like roots strengthening before a tree begins to rise. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually, as you continue to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your goals. Over time, these choices create a new identity, one that reflects strength, resilience, and self-belief. You begin to see yourself not as a product of your past, but as the architect of your future. You realize that you have always possessed the power to create change. You simply needed to claim it through consistent action. In the end, the path to lasting transformation is built on discipline, patience, and unwavering belief. It's about showing up every day, no matter how difficult it feels, and choosing progress over perfection. The person you become in the process is far more important than the goals you achieve. When your actions are guided by purpose and sustained by consistency, your growth becomes inevitable. The life you once dreamed of stops being a distant possibility and starts becoming your reality, one conscious choice at a time. Ultimately, your success is determined by the beliefs you choose to hold about yourself and what is possible for your life. Every thought you allow to take root in your mind becomes a seed that shapes your future. If you believe that you are limited, undeserving, or incapable, you will unconsciously act in ways that reinforce those beliefs. But when you begin to see yourself as capable, worthy, and powerful beyond measure, your energy shifts. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. The greatest freedom a person can experience is the realization that their destiny is not controlled by external circumstances but by the stories they tell themselves every single day. Fear has a way of disguising itself as logic, convincing you to play small to avoid disappointment or failure. Yet, every time you choose fear, you build another wall around your potential. True freedom begins when you stop letting fear dictate your choices. It doesn't mean you stop feeling afraid. It means you refuse to let fear make decisions for you. When you replace fear with faith, faith in your vision, faith in your strength, and faith in the process, you step into a state of power that no obstacle can destroy. This is the moment when you begin to live with purpose, clarity, and unshakable confidence. Your beliefs act as a compass, guiding every action and reaction. If your internal compass points toward limitation, you'll constantly circle around frustration and stagnation. But when you align your beliefs with growth, abundance, and possibility, you start moving in the direction of fulfillment and success. The world begins to respond to your energy differently because your focus and intention have changed. You attract better relationships, make bolder decisions, and carry yourself with the confidence of someone who knows their worth. The universe often mirrors what you believe to be true. When you believe in your potential, you invite experiences that reflect that belief. Breaking free from old beliefs requires constant awareness. You must observe your thoughts and question whether they are empowering or destructive. It's easy to accept negative beliefs because they feel familiar, but familiarity doesn't equal truth. Every limiting belief you hold can be challenged and replaced with one that serves your growth. When you affirm new empowering ideas daily, you begin to rewire your mind. Over time, these new beliefs take root, and your actions begin to align naturally with success. You no longer have to force motivation. It flows effortlessly because your mind, heart, and vision are united. The greatest transformation happens when you realize that your potential has no limits. You are capable of far more than your fears would have you believe. The moment you stop defining yourself by your past and start defining yourself by your possibilities, you open the door to an extraordinary life. Success is not about luck or talent. It's about mindset and belief. When you decide to trust your potential, act on your dreams, and silence the voice of doubt, success becomes inevitable. Freedom, fulfillment, and greatness begin the instant you choose to believe in yourself without hesitation.